I want to talk to you today about 5 of the most inappropriate things I've seen done at a funeral. We went over 5 inappropriate songs, 5 appropriate songs for funerals. We went over 5 inappropriate things said, and there's some doozies on there as well. Today, I want to talk to you about the 5 most inappropriate things done that I've personally seen take place at funerals. One was a young lady that during a service pointed out her father's mistress. That apparently there had been a long running situation in their home, and father had a mistress, had a woman on the side, and she attended the funeral, and the daughter thought it was appropriate at that moment to point her out, to humiliate her. Families are interesting. One time in a service, right in the middle, and I'm officiating it, the widow starts laughing. A nervous laugh. Her emotions just flipped. Something in her, she just wasn't able to deal with the situation. We quickly, well, I shouldn't say too quickly, because that went on for about 30 or 40 seconds, and people came to her aid, and they actually had to walk her out. We halted the service for a bit. She just starts breaking up, laughing out loud, and can you imagine the shock in the room as everybody's staring at her? I remember once one of the more inappropriate things I've ever seen done was a friend, quote unquote, of the widower whose wife had died. He was, I would think, early 60s. A friend is comforting him just a little too much, rubbing his arm, hand on the back, really snuggling up very tight to him, very awkward. That friend was being just a little too much of a friend at that moment. I was at a service one time, again, filters come down and emotions get high. And one of the things that they always try to do is keep alcohol out of a funeral service. Well, this family had a big service inside, and then it went in Graveside. And at Graveside, they started passing around shots. And the shots were really flowing hard. And while Graveside services are short for me, maybe they're 10 minutes. In 10 minutes, a couple of fights break out. People are yelling and screaming. Some guy in the back passes out. It was a real scene. A couple of guys were just laying in the grass crying. So that one, I personally witnessed that one, and it was quite a scene. I witnessed one time, and luckily there was another person that was standing with me who was a funeral home attendant. We witnessed a woman removing a brooch from a woman's blouse, the deceased blouse. Oh yes, just watched her lean over, and she's weeping, she's crying, she spots that brooch, and she just took it off and put it in her pocket. Of course, we alerted the funeral home staff, and the family was gathered around. They dealt with it, but can you imagine just being that brazen to just reach in and take a brooch, piece of jewelry off the deceased? So those are the 5 main things. There are a couple of bonus things I've seen done. That one of them is one of the saddest funerals I've ever officiated. A young toddler slipped away from his home and drowned. Got out to a neighbor's lake and drowned. And he had loved Marvel comics, and he loved Spider-Man. And so for the service, he was dressed as Spider-Man for the visitation, not the funeral. He was dressed as Spider-Man. The dad was dressed as Superman, and the mom was dressed as a slutty Wonder Woman. And when I say a slutty Wonder Woman, wherever your mind takes that, that's what it was. It was, in fact, I slipped a couple of pictures of it that no one will ever see, because I just couldn't believe what I was seeing either. And then the last one, totally inappropriate, and it just happens more and more. I've seen it a number of times, are people that want to take selfies with the deceased. They angle the camera, they get close to the coffin, they get down and they look up, and it's me and Grandpa, and he's in the coffin. Taking pictures of the deceased used to be something people did a lot. And I guess it shouldn't shock me that people would take selfies with the deceased, but it just there's just a propriety about things. Listen, those are the 5 things that stand out the most to me. Inappropriate things that were done at funerals, and then a couple of bonuses. I'd be curious to learn in the comments below what are some of the maybe inappropriate things you witnessed at funerals, and see if anything you have tops what I have. I think the ones I have, they were pretty inappropriate. Listen, God bless. I appreciate you. I'll be back with more videos, my funeral home story down the road. In the meantime, let's age well together. God bless. Take care.